Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
Ulysses S. Grant stands here as one of the few figures tied directly to both the Civil War and the presidency. Before rising to national prominence, he spent part of his early life in St. Louis, working on his father-in-law's farm. That period was not successful and he struggled financially before returning to military service. When the Civil War began, Grant was largely unknown. His early commands in the Western Theater changed that quickly. Victories at Fort Donelson and Vicksburg established his reputation for persistence and decisive action. These campaigns secured control of key river systems and split Confederate territory, strengthening Union control in the West and shifting momentum. He later became General-in-Chief of all Union armies. His strategy focused on coordinated pressure rather than isolated battles, forcing Confederate forces into continuous engagement. That approach led to the surrender at Appomattox in 1865. Within a few years, he was elected President of the United States, entering national leadership during a period of recovery. Just ahead, City Hall represents a different kind of authority. Completed in 1904, the same year as the St. Louis World Fair, it was built to project stability and confidence. The design draws from French Renaissance architecture, with strong symmetry and detailed stonework that emphasizes permanence. The building remains in active use today. It houses the offices of the mayor and key administrative departments, making it a working center of government. Decisions here affect zoning, infrastructure, and public services across the city, shaping how the city develops and operates over time. Its construction reflects a time when St. Louis was positioning itself as a major national city. Hosting the World's Fair brought international attention, and buildings like City Hall helped present that image to visitors and investors. Further along, the Stifel Theater introduces a different layer of the city. Opened in 1934 during the Great Depression, it was originally known as the Kiel Opera House. Despite economic hardship, the decision to build a large performance venue reflected the importance of cultural life and public entertainment. The theater was designed with a focus on acoustics and audience experience. Over time, it has hosted orchestras, touring productions, concerts, and public events. It has adapted to changing entertainment trends while maintaining its original purpose as a major venue. The building has undergone several renovations, including a major restoration in the early 2010s. Today, it continues to operate as one of the city's primary performance venues, attracting both local audiences and touring productions. What stands out here is the contrast between these places. Grant reflects national history, City Hall reflects governance, the theatre reflects cultural life. Each play a different role, but all remain active parts of the city. These places are not frozen in time. They continue to serve a purpose, connecting past events to present use, while maintaining relevance in a changing city.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.